it's Rise Kujikawa from Persona for here, lending my voice through the power of voice generator to this episode of D&Design, and today we'll be taking on Professor Ozpin from Ruby. First up is our character, Reese, which as always is very inhuman, so we get our Metamagic Adept feat, meaning you can get empowered and extended spell features early on. Empowered spell can allow you to spend 1 sorcery point to roll any damage dice again equal to your charisma modifier. An extended spell doubles the duration of any spell for every point used. And for the background, let's go with Scholar. You are a professor after all, which gives you proficiencies with history and arcana, as well as any 2 languages which you can pick yourself. As for our stats, let's use standard array again, then 8 in strength, 14 in dexterity, 10 in constitution, 12 intelligence, 13 wisdom, and last 16 charisma. It's time for classes, and let's start our first level with Monk, which gives proficiencies with strength and dexterity, simple weapons and short swords as well, but you'll mostly need your cane weapon. With unarmored defense, your armor class becomes 10 plus your dexterity and wisdom mods, giving you 14 armor class. Next up is second level, which gives you ki. You can spend your ki to perform monk skills in combat, and there are too many to speak, so they will be listed on screen that you gain this level. Oh, also an onward movement, which increases your walk speed by 10 feet. Next, for third level, we get our subclass, which is Way of the Kensei. We can now deflect projectiles, and if small enough, you can throw it back at your enemies. Also, you can spend a key point attack again with your weapon, just like the Flurry of Blows ability from the second level. Fourth level allows us to increase dexterity by 2 for stronger attacks close up, as well as slow fall to reduce fall damage by 5 points per monk level. And in 5th level, we gain extra attack, which lets us attack twice in 1 action. Next, on 6th level, we have another text wall of skills, so let's leave that on screen to pause if you need to look at it all. And now it's on to the spell casting class of our build, which is Sorcerer, and with our first new skill we can remove advantage or disadvantage on a roll, as long as we can see the target. Also keep in mind that any offense spells are to replicate dust, plus Mage Armor and Shield can stand in for Ozpin's shield when we see him fight during Volume 3. Now for this level, with the fun of magic ability to regain spell slots, we can focus a bit more on attacking with spells when close combat doesn't work. And for the 9th level, we now gain the new metamagic skills of Seeking and Twin Spell. Seeking costs 2 sorcery points to roll a spell attack again. With Twin Spell, we can spend 1 sorcery point to select a second target for a ranged spell. Time for another ability increase, so go for Wisdom. Not sure why it says again, oh well. Also, the Alter Appearance spell can play into the theme of Ozpin changing appearance through his reincarnations. After that, we have Magical Guidance, which lets us spend 1 sorcery point to roll again if an ability check doesn't pass. And now it's time to create the shield, or the closest to the energy shield we see in Volume 3. Selecting a target to place a ward on. By spending sorcery points, we can reduce incoming damage by rolling an 8-sided dice for every sorcery point stored within that shield or ward. For this level, it's time for Mortis stand-ins with Ice Storm for some extra damage, as well as another ability score increase. This time Charisma will be increased by 2. As well as another Ice Dust spell, which deals 8d8 damage in a 60-foot cone, which can freeze enemies into statues if it kills them. Time for more metamagic, Subtle Spell to cast spells without speaking, and Quicken Spell by using the sorcery points to cast a spell that wouldn't normally need a normal action as a bonus action. After that, it's Chain Lightning for our Dust stand-in, which can target up to 3 enemies, dealing 10d8 damage if they fail a dexterity saving throw. Next is another ability score increase, so let's push Charisma to its max at 20. Now we are near the end, Delayed Fireball being our last Dust stand-in, which can deal 12d6 when it finally detonates. And our last ability can be shorted down quite a lot. While it's active for 1 minute, enemies can no longer have advantage on attack rolls. As well as any rolls you perform that are now lower than a 9 are counted as being rolled as a 10. This can only be performed once per long rest, unless you use 5 sorcery points to use it sooner. The overall purpose of this build was to mix in Ozpin's fighting talents, along with his magic or dust, even if the dust were not shown on screen so far, as well as his shield. And when combined with Slow Fall, from our levels into Monk, We can survive even a fall from the floating continent of Atlas. The build can be a bit squishy early on from a lower armor class. But we can fix that with defensive spells from Sorcerer, which thanks to the ward you can support your party defensively as well. If you love this build, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel, and if there's any characters you want to see in the future, comment any suggestions and I'll try my best to make them. Also, this voice was possible to the wonderful free program, 15.ai. Click the link in the description to go and check them out yourselves, and hopefully I'll see you on the next D&Design.